Yeah, like I say, with all these eyewitnesses and all these reports, I can definitely say that this is what actually happened. Um, a lot of things had been happening, and basically, like I said, I had been involved in quite a few other wars, and like I say, there was this one guy. He was living in a safety house. He was a drug dealer. It looked like, and like I said, there were 3 or 4 people that had gone missing. I wasn't exactly sure. Like I wanted to make sure that I wasn't actually taking out my own people because Germany was my country. And later on, Mr. Black was like, ha 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 ha, and I don't know, or at least there's films of Mr. Black going ha 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 ha, with his ring because like he fooled me or something like that. So like because he was supporting like JFK and I guess I don't know. Anyway, I mean I love the Germans. I absolutely love the Germans. But basically there's this one guy and there's all these people that were all the like I say all the there's all these women in England that they would basically perform sexual acts for these people and then they would be given like opium or drugs and then they would go out and they would sleep with these other guys and like pass out the drugs and stuff like that, and then they would go and take all their money and give it to like their pimp basically, you know. And so then and like he was in the docks when the Spanish war galleon attacked and like when like we shelled the warehouse, and I was like, yeah, go ahead and take it down or whatever. I was like, so it's just them in there. It was like 9 o'clock at night, or 8 o'clock at night. I think yeah, the attack happened at 8 o'clock, right on the dot, or something like that. Um, so so they used tugboats to pull the Spanish war galleons in, and the tugboats stayed on the one side, and we just lashed, so the tugboats would be on the safe side. So there's all that wood in between them and everything else. And like I say, it was a classic Spanish war galleon. So we took them out, and then the women were like, well, we don't know what to do. And I was like, well, so, and normally, like, they would perform sexual acts for their guy, and then they would be giving up drugs to them, or getting drugs, like sex for drugs, and then they would go and do more sexual acts, and also sell the drugs, and then they would give everything back to the pimp at the docks. So, and in 1920, D-Day, I took out those people. We just shelled it. And so but there were a couple of people that lived, of course, so it's like, well, you got taken out by a special war galleon, by war galleon. So count yourself special that you, like, it was a Spanish war galleon that had survived a bunch of attacks and everything. And I was like, well, to count yourself lucky because you just became part of history. I mean, it was a surreal moment. Like I say, the guys on the dock said we didn't really know how to take it because it was a Spanish war galleon that we had seen, in the harbor before, but it was firing on the warehouse. It was like, yeah, I was stretched thin. So, yeah, and they had to get through through like a 3 foot thick block wall, and the only thing that could actually punch through that big of a wall was the Spanish war galleon because you got to use a lot of weight to actually like punch through a brick wall. So they fired all the guns on the boat just at 8 o'clock at night, and it was filmed too. They have film of it because one guy was like, "We got to get this on film." One of the Irishmen was like, "We got to get this on film." It's like, yeah, you probably do. So, but yeah. It was all filmed because, I mean, it was different. So, and then the world was different after that. I took out all the bad people, all in one swoop, and then they were running, and then they were worried. We were taking apart all the other world leaders or other people in other countries, and so we were just taking out everyone because, and people were like, "We ride with the Creator." It's like, yeah. I'm Lucifer, I'm the creator, so. And I was very, very, very careful. And then, like I said, afterwards, we had eyewitness testimony, we had investigations. They spent 3 years, because afterwards I was like, take it apart. I want to know every detail of what was going on there. And so they did measurings, they measured everything, they photographed everything, like, and because I was like, I want to make sure that I didn't just take out the people that were protecting the world. Because I was worried about that. I was like, I want to make sure. So anyway, and then we were just taking down all kinds of people. So anyway, so that's what actually happened on D-Day and like World War I, somewhere it began somewhere around World War I and then went into D-Day, and that's what was actually happening. That was me, Lucifer Star, taking out these people, and that was the sum total of a 5-year investigation or a 6-year investigation, where they were taking out people like crazy and enslaving women like crazy and basically so. You know, they were getting women and women addicted, and it's like, all right, come on, baby. You know, and so they would give up the money to them, and then it was liberation of the world, as far as I know. And like I say, I was using all of the Spanish war galleons. I was pulling from the factories. We were getting mailmen and milkmen to run the tanks. It's like, well, you're a tank commander now. It's like, you can drive, right? It's like, yep, okay. So we put tank commanders like a milkman with a seasoned tank commander. It was a really weird time. It was, if anyone wants to know, it was different because like I was pulling truck drivers to run the tanks. I was like, all right, we're gonna need some more tanks. Let's go, get some truck drivers and put them with a seasoned tank turret guy. So normally it would be like a tank crew inside of a tank, and then in that situation what it was we had a truck driver who normally drives a truck with a seasoned tank gunner. You know, because it was me. And, you know, I just had too many targets to take out. We were taking out everyone. That was bad. That was a problem. So yeah, so that's what was going on. We had truck drivers driving the tanks sometimes and seasoned tank commanders because, like I said, I took out basically what would be the whatever leader of Germany. I killed him, and then I was basically, and then so those, I mean, they were supposed to be mine anyway. It was my country, so they were supposed to be working for me anyway, you know. But somehow this other person had gotten in there, and. So like I say, I shelled his stronghold, and then after I shelled the safety house, then I was just commanding the armies myself. Because I bought Germany. It was my country, so I was just taking it back really from these other people that would be powerful men. So anyway, but. Yeah, we were pulling truck drivers. We used a Spanish war galleon. I had every ship in under my command. I had everything basically. I mean, everything was being employed to take these people out, pretty much. And like I said, I had the girls tell the guys, tell the dons, tell the people. I was like, turn yourself in. Make this easy. Let's do this the easy way. Nobody has to get hurt here. These other people were bad. You're gonna turn yourself in now. And at times I was like, tell them who I am. And at times they're like, we can't do that. I was like, yes, tell them who I am. I'm Lucifer Star, the creator of humanity and blah, blah. And this is a different kind of situation. These people don't have to die, and I don't want them to die. It's my country, and this problem has leached into my country. So... Anyway, yeah. So like I say, the police were like, so what's the we don't really get bribed from these people, and you just killed them. So what's the deal now? I was like, I guess you're all getting raises. You know, and now we're going to be using the drug money to actually fund the police department, I guess. I don't know. I was like, I don't really... Like unforeseen consequences, basically, or unforeseen events, basically, because it was just so bad, and there are just so many bad people, and the world seemed to be begging for relief from these people,